Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we discuss about Azure Update Manager, and also we call it as AUM. Azure Update Manager is a native Azure service used to manage, schedule, and monitor OS updates, OS patching for Windows and Linux machines across Azure, on-premises, and other clouds, all from a single pane of glass. So these all can manage by using single pane, and it is the modern replacement for Azure Automation Update Manager. So yeah, it is a modern replacement for Azure Patching and Update Manager, and so it is a cloud native tool. So actually so we can configure in Azure portal, and so we can use it in other environments also, on premises, other clouds, as well as Azure. So those workloads we can manage by using Azure Update Manager. Azure Update Manager, Azure Update Manager does. Azure Update Manager helps you assess missing patches, schedule updates during maintenance windows, install OS updates safely, monitor patch compliance, reduce downtime and security risk. So these all things Azure Update Manager do. Supported machines. So, what are the supported machine for Azure Update Manager? So, Azure Update Manager works with Azure Virtual Machines, Azure VM scale sets, Azure Arc enabled servers. So, Azure Arc actually it is for management of all servers from Azure as well as on-prem and other clouds also. So, Azure Arc we use for management, and this one Azure Azure Arc enabled servers also it will update operating systems. So what operating systems it support, and Windows servers and Linux servers also. In Linux there are other flavors, and so that are like RHL, Ubuntu, SUSE, and CentOS, Oracle Linux, etc. So this will patch all the servers. As Windows as well as Linux. Key features: first one is patch assessment, scan machines to identify missing updates. So patch assessment, what it does, scan machines to identify missing updates, shows critical security other updates. So it shows critical security and other updates. No installation required for assessment. Assessment, no installation is required. And patch deployment. So patch deployment is scheduled updates. We can deploy, and so we can schedule the deployment also. Create maintenance schedules. Control is update classification, reboot behavior, maintenance window duration. So these all can control. Okay, patch deployment step we can control all these things. Update classifications, reboot behavior, maintenance window duration. So how long it should be, so that also you can manage. Supports one time or recurring schedules. So it supports one time. So only want to install one time, that also it can support, and recurring schedules. So every month it should install, so that also it will support. So automatic VM guest patching, Azure VMs. Yeah, automatic VM guest patching for Azure VMs. Azure automatically downloads, installs, reboots if allowed. Reboot allowed, it will reboot. Otherwise, it won't reboot. First download, later install, and next reboot. Ideal for production workloads. Yeah, it is good for production workloads. Compliance-driven environment. So compliance is required for security patches and all. So that environment also it is good. And next one is maintenance configuration. So define update windows. So under maintenance configuration, we define the update windows. Avoid business hours. So we do not install patches in business hours because that is a patch. After patching, it will reboot. Servers will be rebooted if we enable the reboot, and so that's why we have to avoid business hours. Non-business hours, we have to schedule the patches. Work with the individual VMs, VM groups, scale sets. So it can work with individual VMs and VM groups and scale sets also. Virtual machine scale sets. That is the feature in Azure. So the scale set actually scale up and scale down, scale in, scale out. So those all can yeah, in those also scale sets also we can uh, scale sets also we can manage by the Azure Update Manager. Compliance and reporting. So compliance under compliance and reporting, it will view the patch success or failure, compliance percentage, how much percentage compliance all servers complied with, and patch whether patch is successfully installed or not. That it verify. So if it is success, it will show success. Otherwise, it will show failure. And compliance percentage, how much percentage. Suppose let's say 100, we have 100 servers, and from those 100 servers, how much percentage, how many servers have completed. Based on that, it will give the percentage. It will show the percentage. So based on that percentage, we have to work on. Any non-compliance servers are there, percentage is less, and so remaining servers are there that we have to verify and work on. Update history, it will show the update history also. So integrated with Azure Monitor and Logs. So Azure Update Manager can be integrated with Azure Monitor and Logs also, log analytics workspace, so that it will store logs whenever it generated logs, and it will store in the log analytics workspace. And if you integrated with Azure Monitor, so Azure Monitor also help us to if any server is non-compliance, like that. Update types supported. So what are the update types it supported? Windows. Under Windows, it supports security updates, critical updates, definition updates, feature packs, service packs. These all it will support, and it will download those updates, and whichever updates it's required, we install. So we usually install in production environment security updates, critical updates, definition updates. So these all we install. Feature packs, service packs, we do not select. Line under Linux, it's install security updates, other package updates. So other package updates also it handle. So we usually install by using apt, Jaiper. So that also is Azure Update Manager can handle. Reboot options you can configure. So what are the reboot option available here? You can configure like always reboot if required. That is whenever server patched, and it need reboot. And if you configure always reboot if required, if you select that, and it will reboot automatically, and automatically after the patching. So never reboot. Never reboot means any critical server. If there is any critical server, and so if you select never reboot, it won't reboot after patch. And so based on the mm, based on the reboot time, we check with the server owners, and whatever time they suggest, right, that time only we reboot manually, and reboot only if needed. So suppose if it is patched, and reboot is required, if you select this one, it rebooted. So delayed reboot. So we can configure delayed reboot also. So So reboot is required now, and so we can put the schedule like reboot. It should be rebooted so on so time. So that can also be scheduled. How to enable Azure Update Manager? Yeah, enabling Update Manager. Go to Azure portal, search Update Manager, select your VM or Arc enabled server, enable Update Manager. So these are the steps we have to follow, and choose assessment only. Yeah, there you can choose assessment only or scheduled patching. Scheduled patching. So both options will be there. So you have to select whatever you want. Monitor compliance. So it will monitor compliance also. How many servers are compliance with the patching, latest patching. So that also it will monitor. And Azure Update Manager versus old update management. So features log analytics dependency. So analytics dependency, old update manager required, Azure Update Manager not required. So log analytics dependency for old update manager it is required. Azure Update Manager without log analytics configuration also it will manage. Native Azure integration. So Azure workloads in World Update Manager it is limited. Azure Update Manager, so it is full. It supports fully. Azure Arc support in World Update Manager it is limited, and new Azure Update Manager it will support. Ease of use. Easy using easy way in World Update Manager it is medium. Azure Update Manager it is simple. We can manage it simply. Very easy way we can manage. Feature support. So feature World Update Manager it is deprecated. Azure Update Manager actively developing. So it is actively developing. So any modifications or any updates, any any enhancements, so actively developing by Azure. So these are the these are the difference between Azure Update Manager and World Update Manager management. So common use cases. So when we use Azure Update Manager, enterprise patch compliance. So enterprise-wise patch should be compliance with security patches and whatever Microsoft releases every month. So and so it is helpful for enterprise patch compliance, security hardening. So security, we can harden the security by using Azure Update Manager because it regularly installs security and critical updates for all servers. So that by that security hardening can be uh, uh, enabled on the servers and scheduled maintenance windows. So if you want to schedule maintenance window, for patching, so you can do that. In that case also, we just use Azure Update Manager, hybrid cloud patch management. So we have hybrid environment like on-premises servers are there, and also Azure workloads and on-premises workloads, and also workloads on other clouds like GCP and AWS and other cloud services servers also. So that also we can, yeah, by using Azure Update Manager, we can manage those also. Audit and compliance reporting. So it gives the whenever audit and compliance reporting required. So Azure Update Manager help us to do that. Best practices. Use separate maintenance windows. So when using Azure Update Manager, these are the best practices. First one is use the separate maintenance windows for prod and non-prod. Yeah, you usually use for prod we use a separate maintenance window and non-prod separate maintenance window. And the test patches in dev and test first. Yeah, we have to test patches in dev and test first, because if there is any issue with the patching latest patches, So that can be identified when we install in dev environment. So identify and fix later we can ready for production environment. So that's why test patches in dev and test environment first. Avoid automatic reboot for mission critical systems. So if as we said before, and if there is any mission critical servers are there, that we have to avoid automatic reboot. For this we have to disable the reboot after patching. So whenever server owner give the suitable time, so then only we have to reboot that mission critical systems. Enable Azure Monitor alert for failures. So yeah, any failure is there. So if you enable Azure Monitor alert, uh, so Azure Monitor will trigger the incident or any mail or anything based on our configuration. So that's what in the best practices we have to enable Azure Monitor alert for failures. If any server patches failed, so Azure Monitor will help us to trigger the alert so that we can check and we can fix it. Use tags to group VMs for patching. So if you use the tags, so group of VMs can be patched by using tags. So use tags. That is best practices. So that is one of the best practices. Use tags to group VMs for patching. Yeah, that's all about Azure Update Manager. Thank you.